welcome once again to another instalment of my Source Vintage YouTube channel. This instalment is going to be all about collecting stuff, and I'm asking the question, how much stuff is too much stuff? I was swiping through my socials one morning and I stumbled across a post on the Humans of New York Instagram page. And it was a story about a guy called Nelson Molina. Now, he was a refuse collector for about 30 years, and during his rounds he would keep his eyes peeled for items that were of interest or of a little bit of value. And as you can imagine, daily rounds over 30 years, he collected quite the amount. In fact, he collected around 40,000 pieces in total, and he's now turned his collection into a museum in New York. Pretty cool. I'll put all the details below for you, so check it out. But it got me thinking, how much stuff is too much stuff? I'm sure we've all liked to collect something throughout our lives. I guess the first thing that I started collecting at a young age was Pro Set cards, Panini stickers, football stickers. You'd swap these between friends in school, in the playground, and to be honest, it was like currency at primary school, particularly if you had some rare shiny stickers. Be the prince of the playground then. But you'd walk around with your wads of cards or stickers wrapped in an elastic band, but it was alright because these were small items, so they could be stored away in a drawer and out of the way. However, the European Championships were on, and I was in a shop and I saw a Panini sticker book for the tournament, and I just got overwhelmed with nostalgia. So I bought this Panini book and it came with some stickers, and I ran to show my friend Jimmy at Hopper Clock in York. There were a few other people in there having drinks, and I revealed my sticker book and my stickers, and the room filled with jealousy. Memories of childhood commenced, and before I knew it, I turned round and Jimmy was gone. 10 minutes later, he'd returned. He'd got himself a sticker album and some stickers, and excitement grew within the group of people in the bar. Before you knew it, we were talking about holding swapsy days and all sorts. Now, that's all well and good, but we're adults now, and when you start talking to your friends about buying stickers and wholesale boxes containing thousands of stickers, you know, we're talking about taking it to a ridiculous new level. And this is where, when you start collecting things, it can very quickly escalate. Particularly, I've noticed, if they're items that take you back to your childhood. Nostalgia does funny things to us. In fact, on the subject of collectible cards and stickers, put yourself in Lisa Courtney's shoes. Lisa's in the Guinness Book of Records with her impressive collection of over 17,000 Pokemon items. In fact, it's the largest Pokemon collection in the world. I guess for me, growing up, music has always been something I've collected on a large scale, whether that's cassettes, CDs, or vinyl records. In fact, I still have quite the collection, and I can't bring myself to get rid of them. Boxes rammed full of CDs and cassettes, and shelving full of records. Now, these things do tend to take up a fair bit of space, and they're an absolute nightmare when you go to move out. Each cassette, CD, and record represents a moment in my life. Maybe a particular genre or style phase that I went through. Some of them I actually bought at gigs when I went to see the artist or bands. So there are just far too many emotional connections to these pieces to just simply get rid. And another thing I used to collect, in fact I used to sell it, was vintage clothing. I had quite the collection, and it was predominantly women's dresses. In fact, I remember having not been with my now wife very long. She came to visit one weekend, and I'd been invited to a wedding, and I asked if she wanted to come with me. And her reply was, "Of course, but I have nothing to wear." So with that, what did I do? I wheeled out my vast collection of women's dresses. Utter confusion followed, but no questions asked. She selected one of the hundreds of dresses, wore it to the wedding, and still has it to this day. My dresses, on the other hand, well, that's another story. I've known people collect some rather odd things. Anything from false teeth to crisp packets and fossilised feces, just to name a few. In fact, doesn't Jeremy Corbyn collect drain covers? I'm sure deep down, like I've said, we've all collected something at some stage in our life. And all it takes is for that little memory to be jogged, and then bang, we're back at it again. But if you're like Martina Schellenberg, sometimes stopping just isn't an option. At 125,866 napkins, Martina has the largest collection of napkins in the world. All of which are sorted by theme and stored in protective boxes. Now, while we've covered the expansive area of these strange and wonderful things people collect, I want to know how much is too much. Personally, I don't think if you've got the space in your home, there's no harm in dedicating an entire room to a collection of something. Unless, of course, that item you collect is fossilised faeces. I draw the line at faeces. But I must emphasise, I guess it all depends on the size of your living arrangement. Perhaps if a collection spills out and starts affecting someone else, particularly if it's faeces, maybe then is the time to start downsizing a little. And while we're on the subject of faeces, I imagine that York Archaeological Trust employee, Dr. Andrew Jones, had a collection of faeces himself. I'm sure of it. Judging by his appraisal of this giant log that he discovered back in 1991. The excitement. And that's what happens when you're passionate about something you collect. Just get a load of this. This is the most exciting piece of excrement I've ever seen. In its own way, it's as irreplaceable as the crown jewels. So on that bum note, let me know your own experiences of collecting. And if faeces does happen to be your chosen subject, that's absolutely fine, no judgment here. Well, that's it for this week, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this little insight into the world of collecting. Remember, if you do enjoy my YouTube videos, please do subscribe. Hit that bell icon, I'd really appreciate it. But whilst I have you here, I also write a blog every Monday, Blog Post Monday, over at my website, source-vintage.co.uk. I'll put all the links below for you. I write about my favourite finds, trade-related stuff. I have the odd interview with a celebrity antique dealer off the TV, funny stories. So if that tickles your fancy, head on over to my website and become a Source Social member and get exclusive deals and discounts at my shop and first dibs on all new items before they hit my website. And also, let me quickly mention my merch. Head on over to my merch store and show your support to Source Vintage by making a purchase there. T-shirts, mugs, bags, you name it, we got it. Go get yourself some merch. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate you joining me and for all your support. Until next time, stay safe, keep buying those antiques and keep spreading that Source Vintage love.